If someone had told me that a simple canceled dinner date would unravel the entire truth about my relationship, I would have laughed. Back then, I trusted my boyfriend completely, blindly, wholeheartedly, with the kind of naive certainty you only feel before life teaches you better. My name is Jenna Collins, I'm 28, and until recently, I believed my boyfriend, Ryan Miller, 30, was the love of my life. We'd been dating a little over 2 years. We lived in Ridgeview, Colorado, in a cozy apartment with mismatched furniture we always said we'd replace once we settle in. We shared grocery lists, inside jokes, and a terrible habit of ordering pizza way too often. We weren't perfect. But we were happy. Or I thought we were. What I didn't know was that one quiet Tuesday night would shatter every illusion I had about our future. It started at 5:42 p.m. I was standing in the kitchen stirring pasta sauce, setting the table, humming to myself while waiting for Ryan to get home. We'd planned a date night, our first real one in weeks. Between his long work hours and my chaotic schedule, we'd barely had time together. I wanted tonight to feel special. Then my phone buzzed. Ryan. Hey babe, can we rain-check dinner? My parents want to see me alone tonight. It's important. My smile faded. His parents rarely asked him to visit without me. We usually went together, Sunday lunches, holiday dinners, casual drop-ins. They always called us a package deal. So something felt off. Still, I tried to stay calm. Me. Is everything okay? He didn't respond for 5 minutes. Ryan. Yeah, just family stuff. Don't worry. Love you. I stared at the screen longer than I should have. Family stuff? Important? Why now? But I trusted him. So I texted back. Okay. Love you too. I turned off the stove, put the food away, and tried not to overthink it. But that quiet unease lingered in my chest. Around 7:30 p.m. I realized something strange. Ryan always shared his location with me, not out of control, but because of safety, late-night drives, and the time I locked myself out of my car. It was normal for us. When I opened the map on my phone, expecting to see him near his parents' neighborhood in Pinebrook, I froze. He wasn't there. He wasn't anywhere near his parents at all. He was 3 miles away. In a part of town he had no reason to be in. A residential area. Condos. Townhomes. Not his parents' house. Not his office. Not anywhere he'd normally go. I stared at the blinking dot on the map, heartbeat speeding up. Was it a glitch? I refreshed the page. The dot stayed right where it was. My stomach tightened. Maybe he stopped somewhere on the way. Maybe he forgot to text. Maybe. No. The uneasy feeling sharpened. Something was wrong. I tried calling him. Straight to voicemail. I tried again. Voicemail. I texted. Hey, where are you? Everything okay? No reply. I paced the living room for a full 10 minutes, trying to talk myself out of the knot forming in my gut. Then I made a decision. A decision that would lead me somewhere I wasn't prepared to go. I grabbed my keys, slipped on my jacket, and drove toward the location on the map. With every turn, every passing streetlight, every second of silence from Ryan, my heart pounded harder. Maybe I'd find him grabbing something from a friend. Maybe it would be nothing. Maybe I was overreacting. But deep down, deep down, I already knew the truth was waiting for me. And I was about to crash straight into it. When I turned into the townhouse complex marked on the map, my pulse spiked. This wasn't a place Ryan ever mentioned. Not somewhere he'd have family business. The buildings were neat, modern, lined with identical porches and potted plants. Warm windows. Parked cars tucked into assigned spots. I slowed the car as I approached the address. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. The blinking dot on my phone matched the number on one of the units. Unit 304. Ryan's location was inside Unit 304. I pulled over and parked across the street, heart thudding in my ears. A light was on inside the unit. Shadows moved past the curtains. One of them looked like Ryan. I felt something inside me fracture. I sat frozen for nearly a minute before I finally forced myself to get out of the car. I crossed the street slowly, each step feeling heavier, like the world was anchoring me down, trying to pull me back. But I kept going. Because even though I didn't want the truth, I needed it. When I reached the front porch, I heard laughter. A woman's laughter. Soft. Intimate. Familiar, in the way that familiarity hurts. My throat closed. I peeked through the narrow gap between the curtain and the window frame. And what I saw made my chest cave in. Ryan. My boyfriend. My partner. My future. Sitting on the couch. Not with his parents. But with another woman. Close. Comfortable. Laughing like they shared a secret world. And then, right in front of me, she leaned into him. And he kissed her. Not a friendly kiss. Not a mistake. Not a moment of confusion. A kiss full of familiarity. Ease. Practice. He wrapped his arm around her waist the same way he always did with me. My breath hitched. I felt dizzy. Sick. He wasn't meeting his parents. He was on a date. A romantic date. With someone else. And I was standing outside in the cold, watching the man I loved be someone else's boyfriend. My hands trembled violently. My throat burned. My eyes blurred with tears I didn't even feel fall. Everything in my body screamed at me to run. But I stayed frozen, unable to look away. Unable to breathe. Unable to understand how my life had changed in a single second. I don't know how long I stood there on that porch, staring through that tiny gap in the curtains like my entire world wasn't collapsing in slow motion. My heartbeat was loud, too loud. My breathing uneven. My hands shaking so hard I had to press them against my thighs just to stay upright. Inside the townhouse, Ryan looked relaxed. Comfortable. Happy. He wasn't tense the way he usually was after family talks. He wasn't drained or frustrated like he'd been telling me he was from work stress. He was glowing. Laughing with her. Holding her hand. Brushing her hair behind her ear the way he always did to me when he thought nobody was watching. The realization hit me with full force. This wasn't new. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a one-time meeting. He had been seeing her. More than once. A cold wave rushed through me. My legs were unsteady, and for a second, I thought I might actually collapse right there on the porch. I couldn't stay. I couldn't watch another second. I backed away slowly, terrified the floorboards would creak and expose me. Terrified that somehow this nightmare wasn't real, and terrified that it was. When I reached the sidewalk, I turned and practically ran to my car. I got in, shut the door, and only then did the sob finally tear out of my chest, raw, broken, uncontrollable. My whole body shook as I gripped the steering wheel. Tears blurred my vision. My breath came in short gasps. It felt like someone had reached inside my chest and ripped everything out. Everything I believed. Everything I trusted. Everything I thought we were building. Gone. After several minutes, maybe 10, maybe more, I wiped my face with trembling hands and forced myself to breathe. In. Out. In. Out. Then, with shaking fingers, I opened my phone again. Ryan's location was still in that townhouse. Still in Unit 304. Still with her. He hadn't noticed I called earlier. He hadn't noticed I texted. He hadn't noticed I was struggling. Because he wasn't thinking about me. He was thinking about her. My throat tightened again. I typed a message. Me. Hope everything is okay with your parents. Text me when you're done. I stared at the words. They felt like poison. But I sent them anyway. Why? Because I needed to see what he would say. I needed to see how far he'd go. I needed to know whether the lies would continue, or if he'd try to spin a new story. 5 minutes passed. 10. 15. Finally, my phone buzzed. Ryan. Everything's fine. Heading home soon. I felt sick. Home. My home. Our home. The home he was coming back to after spending the evening with another woman. The betrayal hit me all over again like a second punch. He wasn't meeting his parents. He wasn't having a hard night. He wasn't dealing with family problems. He was on a date. A secret, romantic date. And now he was coming home to me, expecting me to greet him with love and trust and warmth. My stomach churned. I wrote back. Me. Okay. Drive safe. I hated myself for sending that. Hated that I still cared about his safety. Hated that I wasn't strong enough to confront him yet. But I knew one thing for sure. I was not going to sit at home waiting for him like nothing happened. I needed to see his face. I needed to hear what he would say. I was done being blind. I drove home on autopilot, the world outside blurring through my tears. When I got to the apartment, I didn't turn on any lights. I sat in the living room in silence, waiting, staring at the door. 10 minutes later, I heard footsteps in the hallway. Then the familiar sound of his keys jingling. Then the click of the lock turning. Then the door opening. Ryan walked in wearing the same clothes I saw him wearing in the townhouse, except now, his hair was slightly messy and he smelled faintly of perfume. Not mine. He froze when he saw me sitting in the dark. "Oh," he said, surprised. "Didn't think you'd still be up." I swallowed hard. I didn't say anything yet. I just looked at him. He glanced at the clock. "It's late. Why aren't the lights on?" Still, I said nothing. He set his keys on the counter and stretched. "Dinner go okay?" "Sorry about canceling. My mom wanted to talk." I cut him off. Very softly. "Where were you tonight?" He blinked. I told you. With my parents." I stared at him. Silent. Still. Waiting. He shifted slightly, the first hint of discomfort flickering across his face. "Babe, why are you looking at me like that?" I spoke slowly. Quietly. Dangerously calm. "I know you weren't with your parents, Ryan." His expression changed instantly, like a mask slipping. Confusion. Panic. Then quick, defensive irritation. "What are you talking about?" he asked. I took a breath. A deep, shaky one. "I saw you." His face blanched. "What?" "I saw where you really were tonight." His chest rose sharply. His jaw tensed. His eyes darted away for a split second. Just long enough to confirm everything. I continued. Unit 304. Townhouse on Maplebrook Lane. He swallowed hard. I finished. "I saw you with her." Silence. Long cold. Suffocating. Then he whispered. "Jenna, it's not what you think." I felt my heart crack open. Because that was the exact sentence men say when it's exactly what you think. "Jenna, it's not what you think." Those words echoed in the room like a lie he'd practiced in front of a mirror. I felt my chest tighten, but my voice stayed steady, painfully steady. "Really?" I whispered. "Because it looked exactly like what I think." Ryan ran a hand through his hair, pacing a small circle like a trapped animal. "Just let me explain," he said quickly. I sat frozen on the couch, every muscle taut. Explain what? I asked. That you spent the night kissing another woman? That you lied about seeing your parents? That you thought I'd never find out? He stopped pacing. I wasn't kissing her, he said, too fast. It wasn't like that. I stared at him. I watched you, I said softly. I watched you kiss her. His face flushed. Shame? Anger? Panic? I couldn't tell. He opened his mouth, closed it, then finally said. That wasn't supposed to happen. Not, it didn't happen. Not, you misunderstood. Not, I'm sorry. Just. It wasn't supposed to happen. Something deep inside me twisted painfully. Ryan, I whispered. How long have you been seeing her? He looked away. I'm not seeing her, he muttered. Then what were you doing at her townhouse? He hesitated. Talking. With your tongue in her mouth? I snapped. His head jerked up, defensive. Okay, you know what? If you're going to exaggerate. I stood up so fast the couch creaked beneath me. Exaggerate? My voice broke. Ryan, I saw you. I saw everything. His jaw tightened. You weren't supposed to follow me, he said quietly. Ah. There it was. Not remorse for cheating. Not guilt for lying. Just anger that I caught him. I let out a breath, half laugh, half sob. You're upset that I found out, I said. Not that you did it. He didn't respond. Because we both knew the truth. After a few seconds of silence, he finally sat on the armchair across from me, elbows on his knees, face in his hands. Her name is Lily, he said quietly. Hearing her name felt like a punch to the stomach. He continued. She's someone I met through work. I closed my eyes. Of course. Work. The place he'd been stressed about. The place he spent late hours at. The place where everyone needed him. I forced myself to look at him again. How long? I whispered. He didn't answer. My heart sank. Ryan, I repeated, how long? He exhaled sharply. I don't know. A few weeks. Weeks. Not days. Not a moment of weakness. Weeks. More like 2 months, he added, barely audible. My knees went weak. I stumbled backward and sat on the edge of the couch before I collapsed. 2 months. I felt nauseous. I pressed my palm to my forehead and whispered. Oh my God. Ryan. He reached toward me, slowly, hesitantly, but I pulled away. He dropped his hand. It just happened, he said, as if that made it better. I didn't plan it. I laughed bitterly through tears. That's supposed to comfort me? No, I didn't mean for things to get this far. You didn't mean for things to get this far, I repeated softly. But you still kept going. He looked down at the floor. I wiped my eyes and swallowed hard. What were you planning to tell me tonight? I asked. After you left her place? He hesitated. I wasn't planning on telling you. That sentence sliced me open. So I was just supposed to come home, I whispered, kiss you, make dinner, talk about my day, while you spent the night with her? He didn't answer. Ryan, I said, voice breaking, were you going to sleep with me tonight? He closed his eyes. That was answer enough. I choked on a sob. He whispered. I'm sorry. The words sounded mechanical, like he was repeating something he didn't feel. I shook my head. No. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. His jaw tensed. That's not fair. Fair? I snapped. You lied to my face. You lied to me multiple times tonight. You've been lying for months. Don't talk to me about fair. He stood up abruptly and raised his voice. You don't understand the pressure I'm under. I stared at him, stunned. What pressure? To lie? To cheat? To date 2 women at once? He rubbed the back of his neck. Things haven't been good between us. My breath caught. There it is, I said quietly. The excuse. It's not an excuse, he insisted. We've been distant. You've been cold. Cold? I repeated in disbelief. You're telling me I caused this? He threw his hands up. I'm not saying that, Jenna, but you've been busy, distracted. So your solution, I cut in, was to find someone else? Silence. I took a slow breath. Are you in love with her? His eyes flicked away. Just for a moment. But it was enough. My voice cracked. You are, I whispered. No, he said quickly. I'm not. I swear I'm not. I care about her, but I don't love her. Pain shot through my chest. You care about her? He ran a hand down his face. I didn't mean to say that. But you did. My tears fell again. I can't believe this, I whispered. I trusted you. I defended you. I believed every lie you told me. He sat back down, burying his face in his hands. I'm sorry, Jenna. I don't know what I'm doing. I stared at him. And something inside me shifted. A quiet, heavy acceptance. He didn't slip. He didn't make one mistake. He didn't have one weak moment. He made choices. Every day. Every text. Every dinner plan he canceled. Every lie he told. This wasn't an accident. This was deliberate. And I was done pretending otherwise. I finally stood up. My voice steadier than I expected. Ryan, I said, I think you should leave tonight. He looked up sharply. What? No, we need to talk about this. We have talked, I said. And every word out of your mouth has been a lie or an excuse. I'm not leaving, he said stubbornly. This is my home too. I swallowed. I'm not asking, I said softly. I'm telling you. He stared at me, hurt, anger, disbelief all mixing together. You can't just kick me out, he muttered. You cheated, I said quietly. On purpose. Repeatedly. And you lied about it an hour ago. Yes, I can ask you to leave. He shook his head, pacing. You're overreacting. My voice rose. Stop saying that. He froze. I continued, voice trembling. I saw you. I watched you kiss her. I watched you hold her like she mattered. And you're calling me dramatic? He said nothing. Because there was nothing left to say. He grabbed his jacket and keys, grumbling under his breath. This is insane, he muttered. You're not even giving me a chance. You had 2 months of chances, I whispered. At the door, he turned back. A faint echo of desperation in his voice. Jenna. I don't want to lose you. A heavy silence hung between us. Then I said. You should have thought of that before you risked losing me. He didn't respond. He opened the door. Left. And for the first time all night, I let myself cry, not because I lost him. But because I finally realized I didn't want him anymore. After Ryan left that night, the silence in the apartment felt heavy, almost physical. It wrapped around me like a cold blanket, pressing down on my chest until I could barely breathe. I sat on the couch for a long time, staring at the door he'd walked out of. The door he'd walked through so many times before, laughing, tired, affectionate, irritated, relaxed, playful. But tonight, he walked through it as a stranger. And the realization washed over me. The man I loved wasn't the man who left tonight. He hadn't been for a long time. I curled up on the couch and cried until exhaustion dragged me under. The next morning, everything felt surreal. The pillow was damp from tears, my eyes swollen, my body heavy. I made coffee, but my hands shook so much the mug clattered against the counter. I sat at the table, staring at the steam rising from the cup, and wondered how many lies were baked into my relationship. How many nights he'd spent with her. How many times he'd canceled on me to be with her. How many excuses I'd believed because I trusted him. The betrayal didn't just sting. It hollowed me out. By noon, I still hadn't heard from him. Not a text. Not a call. Nothing. I wondered if he was with her. The thought made me nauseous. Just as I pushed my phone away, it vibrated. Ryan. Ryan. Can we talk later today? A few hours earlier, I might have been desperate to talk. To hear something, anything, that would make this hurt less. But now? Now all I felt was clarity. Me. No. Not right now. I expected him to fight. To insist. To demand. Instead he wrote. Okay. Just, okay. As if my pain were an inconvenience. As if he were resigning himself to the consequences of his own actions. Later that afternoon, my best friend Hannah showed up unannounced. She took one look at my face and immediately dumped her bag on the floor and hugged me so tightly I nearly broke again. I told her everything, the canceled dinner, the townhouse, the kiss, the lies, the confrontation. She listened without interrupting, without judging, without offering false comfort. When I finished, she said, "Jenna, he didn't just cheat. He built a whole parallel relationship behind your back." Hearing it phrased that way made the truth settle even deeper. I nodded, wiping my eyes. "I don't know what to do," I whispered. Hannah held my shoulders. "You do know," she said gently. "You just don't want the answer to be real." I swallowed hard. What if he comes back and apologizes? What if he says he made a mistake? What if? "No," she said firmly. "Stop bargain grieving. He chose her. He chose to lie. He chose to betray you." Repeatedly. Her words hurt. But they were true. Dead true. That night, Ryan texted again. "Ryan. I'm outside. Can we talk?" My heart hammered. He was outside. Right now. I walked to the window. There he was, leaning against his car, hands in his pockets, staring up at the apartment like he wasn't sure if he was welcome. Hannah stood beside me. "You don't owe him a conversation," she said. But I shook my head. "I need closure." She didn't argue, she just stayed close as I went to the door. When I stepped into the hallway, Ryan straightened. He looked tired. Not devastated. Not regretful. Just tired. "Jenna," he said softly. I crossed my arms. "What do you want?" He swallowed. "I messed up. I know that. And I'm sorry." A weak apology. A soft landing for himself. I said nothing. He continued. "I never meant to hurt you. Things just got complicated." My jaw tightened. "Things don't get complicated by accident," I said. "You made choices." He looked down at his shoes. "I ended things with her," he said. A tiny spark of pain flared in my chest. Not hope, just the sting of knowing she had been real enough to end things with. "Good for you," I said flatly. "That doesn't fix what you did." He stepped closer. "Can we try again?" he asked quietly. "I love you. I don't want to lose you." But his voice didn't sound like love. It sounded like fear. Fear of consequences. Fear of loneliness. Fear of losing access to the life he had with me. Meanwhile, I remembered the way he kissed her. Comfortable. Familiar. Warm. A man in love. Just not with me. I took a step back. No, I said, voice steady. No, we can't. He blinked. Jenna, please. How many times did you see her? I asked. He froze. How many nights? Did you tell her you cared? Did you talk about me? Did you take her to places we used to go? Did you hold her the way you held me? His silence answered all of it. And that silence made something inside me finally harden. Finally close. Finally let go. I deserve more than this, I said. I deserve someone who chooses me every day, not someone who chooses me only when the other woman isn't available. His eyes filled with something, panic? Guilt? Sorrow? It didn't matter anymore. I continued. You didn't just break my trust. You broke the version of myself who loved you. He stepped forward again. I can change. I shook my head. Not with me. A long silence fell between us. Finally, Ryan whispered. Are you breaking up with me? A tear slid down my cheek. Yes, I said. I am. His face crumpled, just slightly, but he nodded. I guess I deserve that. He turned, walked toward the stairs, and paused. Without looking back, he said, I hope you find someone better than me. I whispered. I already did. He asked, who? I said. Me. He didn't reply. He just left. And the moment the door shut behind him, I felt a wave of grief crash over me. But this time, the grief wasn't for losing him. It was for losing the illusion of him. For losing the future I thought we had. For losing the trust one gave too freely. But beneath that sorrow was a flicker of something else. Something quiet. Something new. Strength. I didn't break. I didn't beg. I didn't collapse. I let him go. And that, for the first time, made me realize. The ending wasn't the tragedy. The real tragedy would have been staying with someone who didn't value me. And now? Now I had the chance to choose myself. Fully. Finally. And I wasn't going to waste it.